Well, good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson, with some interesting news today. Yes, Fox News. Yes, they have finally come out of the closet that they weren't even very good hiding in. Okay. I have some damning information on faux news. I've got an interesting video I'm going to share with you. I'm also going to talk a little bit about their current leadership and where that company is going. You will not want to miss this. Stick with me to the end. We do want to mention my sponsor real quick. That's right, MyPillow. MyPillow.com. Promo code Lumberjack will save you up to 66%. You can also use that same promo code at my store to get some of that great coffee. I love the MyPillow products, especially those Giza sheets. It is wrapping yourself in the most luxurious sheets. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I never knew sheets were a thing, but these are awesome. Anyways, I'm going to share a video with you here. The CEO of Fox News, Susan Scott, okay, or Suzanne Scott. Interesting gal. She does come from a good business background, a family that owned a trucking company. Her mother worked as a real estate agent. So you'd think, wow, she's got some conservative bona fide. She became the first CEO, female CEO of Fox News. There's only been two. There are allegations against her, backlash about her involvement in sexual harassment because she had women wearing open-toed shoes and big hair. I got that off Wikipedia. Anyways, it does not appear that she is maybe your friend. So I want you to watch this clip, and then I'm going to share another article with you that talks about where Fox News is going. So check this out.
Unfold. All of these things that we warned about continue to come true, and the media wants to keep it so quiet. So that's why I
want to just mention this is just after the news of the election poll worker data and Konek and that being stored in China on servers. So they're talking about issues surrounding integrity of elections and that type of thing.
Of Real America's Voice, because you guys continue to keep talking about election integrity.
Well, Grant, I got to jump in on one point there. All great points. But when you talk about the media, it used to be that Fox and maybe Newsmax and others would stand out from the mainstream media. But over the last 24, 48 hours, it leaked out that in this Dominion lawsuit against Fox, the voting machines, the CEO of Fox, Suzanne Scott, was out there in an email or something telling people we can't give in after the 2020 election to the crazies. If you wanted to investigate it, she didn't want guests on Fox. And we could talk about this all day. It's been written about. It's going to be written about a lot more, Grant. But Fox's CEO was saying inside the huddle that if you were speaking out on this, you're part of the crazies.
Part of the crazies, folks. And we're talking about a situation where the New York Times ran a story the day before talking about how it was all a conspiracy theory. And then the next day the same author had to run an article about how there was an arrest made of the CEO of Konek. We have real issues and we want those investigated. And now we're just simply called crazies as a result of that. Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, now I want to share this with you because this shows a further exacerbation of the problem. Fox News Air hosted Biden for Armageddon fundraiser. So you remember the famous fundraiser? Yes, the Armageddon. By the way, we're at, I think it's DEFCON 3, highest level. We've only reached that 2 other times. Anyhow, when President Joe Biden spoke about the nuclear risk of Armageddon during the fundraiser this week in New York City, it was at the home of James and Catherine Murdoch, the youngest son of billionaire Rupert Murdoch. James is an heir to his father's media fortune, including a trust that will control Fox News. Even before the Biden fundraiser, Murdoch and his wife had become a power couple in the Democratic Party and among left-wing circles. In the 2020 election, the young Murdoch spent $20 million opposing then President Donald Trump's 2020 re-election, while funneling another $100 million through a nonprofit to support liberal political groups. Folks, that's $120 million, okay? Now, I'm sure they're going to be very non-biased. In 2020, James Murdoch resigned from the News Corp board, so he's not there anymore. Also controlled by Rupert Murdoch, among differences over editorial content at the Wall Street Journal and the New York Post. Remember Hunter Biden's laptop. Rupert Murdoch, 91, remains chairman of Fox Corp, which includes Fox News Channel. While Rupert Murdoch and his oldest son, Lachlan, the current CEO of Fox Corp, are Republicans, James has made known to associates that upon his father's passing, he and his more liberal sisters will control the family trust and thereby Fox News. Now, I want to make something clear here. He's the CEO of Fox Corp. Suzanne is Fox News, and I believe also Fox Business. Think of the canning of Lou Dobbs, okay? So the Financial Times and other publications have reported that a majority of the trust heirs plan on making the network more establishment, turning away from its conservative roots, okay? So that's where that's all going. Now, a couple things. People think, well, what's the right response? Like, what do I do? Where do I get my news? Lumberjack Logic, of course. But no, there's other great sources too. But I want you to think about this. I am still a fan of Tucker Carlson. I love the stuff he produces. I'm going to continue to watch that. I like watching some of Jesse Waters. I even catch a little Greg Gutfeld now and then. But their news I'm going to take as highly suspect, especially when Fox News called Arizona so earlier than even any of the other mainstream networks out there, whether that be CBS, MSNBC, and so on. Okay. I just take everything that they say now with a grain of salt, especially from their newsroom. It was good to see Chris Wallace go and get his big gig on CNN Plus, the streaming service that died so quickly. It was like it never began. Anyways, but their newsroom. What I would like to see, I think what you'd like to see, is a newsroom that simply looked at everything, right? That chased down the news, followed all these things and asked serious questions. And the problem is that's what we're not getting. So if you look and you think about Suzanne Scott, right? She's CEO of this company. And then, oh my gosh, there's a lawsuit. She's concerned about the lawsuit. So she's not willing to chase down those stories. And in fact, is telling the reporters not to chase down certain stories. All we want to do is get to the bottom of these issues. Maybe you have, suspicions, okay? And you just want those suspicions put to rest. That's fair. Okay, so you go out and you do some of your own research, and you follow certain court cases and that type of thing, and you're wondering why aren't those getting any coverage? Well, they're just concerned about making money. So Suzanne may be a capitalist, but that doesn't mean she's a true conservative, and she's calling you a crazy if you actually want things investigated, and especially when we get that information from Koenig. That investigation, and I think people like Kaneko the Great, who publicized that widely on Substack, people like Greg Phillips, Catherine Engelbrecht, who chased this stuff down. Those are people who are willing to do real investigative work, or our Project Veritas, James O'Keefe. Talk about real investigative journalism, catching people in their own words all the time. Something that newsrooms used to do, but sadly don't anymore. And that's the kind of reporting we're looking for. We just want to get to the bottom of things. We want people held to account. And sadly, Fox News does not seem to be willing to tackle that right now. Many of us had watched Fox for a long period of time, feeling it was fair and balanced. We didn't see it as necessarily a right wing, especially out of their newsroom. We saw news just being reported, and that's what we wanted. Not as much. And then there were opinion shows we could watch that were counter to the MSNBC. Anyways, I love you folks. Hey, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and do go check out mypillow.com and use promo code Lumberjack. Peace out. So we're out here hunting elk, and I'm telling you, it's grueling. I mean, up the mountain, down the mountain, up the mountain, down the mountain, isn't it, boys? It's rough, man. And you're looking for some energy, but you're also looking for a little comfort. Oh, my coffee. This stuff is the best coffee I've ever had. I didn't even know the guy. I didn't even know Mike Lindell had a coffee thing. And then all of a sudden he had it and I tried it. Now I can't leave home without it. It's like my MyPillow. So go to mystore.com or mypillow.com. Use promo code Lumberjack to get pillows or coffee. This stuff is the best.